Hello everyone, I'm Palpatine001 aka the Senate, and it has been a while. Especially with Cities Skylines 2, and I'll even include Cities Skylines 1 with the upcoming updates from Paradox and, well, for CS2 it's Iceflake Studio. Not sure who's still got CS1, might be still Colossal Water. But anyway, it has been a while. Looking back at the blog and YouTube channel, it's been since November since I last did a Cities Skylines recording, and a lot's been happening since. It's been 5 months with Cities Skylines and Cities Skylines 2. Just quick, we're in Marsden Point, so we've got 2 cities going. The main city I usually do for recordings is the Manukau Ranges, which those series will continue through, especially with the updates that have happened and are continuing, mainly because it's a good one, because it's a large city at about 200, I think it's about coming up to 200,000. Marsden Point's at 263, so she's now my second largest city, behind Cape Celeria that hit 300,000, but not my largest city overall, which was Monaco and CS1 at 384. But note those numbers I give there in a minute, because they actually have some meaning, especially when it comes to the simulation being able to handle it. But yes, Manukau Ranges will still be used because that will be done for urban. It's a good established city for urban real. Marsden Point is the one I usually do off screen for testing. Like, this city was created to focus around some major updates around the simulation and things like bike lanes. Yes, those bike lanes, which in another update is going to have to be nerfed a bit because they were a bit OP, but now they've nerfed them too much. We've got to try and we should allow it for a slider on how much we really want. So we're at Marsden Point, looking over very little camera, which is using not surprised those are all coming up. I'm just wondering if there's been changes around the roading side causing these problems as the simulation plays through. I've also got all my trains returning to the depot at the moment because an asset creator has totally updated their rail pack thing, which made the old mod obsolete and the current one, and you have to put in the current, but as always you've got to get the assets to change over first, which can always be somewhat slightly cumbersome. Let's just take a look at what's going over here. Okay, someone's tattooed with the roads, which is causing this problem at the moment. I'll take it. No, you can't take it out because it's a fixed building. So someone has played with the roads, which is causing some issues. Anyway. So yeah, Marsden Point is the one where I do a lot of testing off screen. Periodically you might see it in my cities or videos if I want to demonstrate a point or demonstrate a concept. Because this one has the cycleways fitted into it and some of the new assets, this is the one I'm in currently at the moment. But yeah, a lot has happened since November. And it seems a whole lot more is about to happen, which we're going to touch into. So there was, since Iceflake came on board to replace Colossal Order for CS2, you can all look it up on the City Skylines websites and that. There's been changes to the simulation. There was cosmetics upgraded, and so you might have noticed the graphics might have changed a little bit. They actually don't look as cartoony, CS1 cartoony, as they did when the hotfix came out. When the update came out last month. A hotfix has come out since to fix all that up. So we're looking good. But at the same time, the simulation's also been updated to a point. Not fully fixed yet because it's probably going to need a major overhaul. Which means basically as soon as my cities get above 200,000, they can get up to 300,000 CS1, no problem with the current rig, and even on my older rig. But in CS2, once you got above 200,000, which is why Cape Celeria was really struggling, although we were getting there at 300,000. Yeah, once you get above 200,000, your city began to struggle. That was around, well, first of all, core mechanic on how it's based. Every agent is based all at once. There's no limitations like there was at CS1 where you maxed out at, I think it was 83,000, and then it recycled and put everything into a queue. But which put absolute strain on the system. If you did a mass build, especially in high density, you would have the absolute crushing flow of traffic, which we still have, being an absolute pain in the backside. And I've got some new assets to handle this now, which is going to trigger off some, I'm going to do this off screen, trigger some urban renewal. I'm just wondering where they are sitting. Can also hear a lot of new sound effects too, which is very good to hear. I'm liking that. Ooh, are they under the roads? Haha, that sounded quite good. I'm just wondering where these are. Ah, yes. Ramps. And I'll find out where the underpass one is too. We've still got problems, as you can see. This is causing traffic delays and that. This is more of a problem in your high density areas, even if the citizens move in. The skyscrapers content pack, there's a couple of them now, are so big and so concentrated they cause problems. Now that's a bit on the game itself. That is also a bit on planning myself. Technically, especially as these are arterials, one should... oh yeah, they do buns dance, so they all go at once. But in such cases, I should be under or overpassing these to send the pedestrians up and over. Not ideal, but it is for when you've got very high density situations like this. Otherwise, this is completely failing your traffic. Don't worry, we still run our smaller streets and our pedestrian walls, which take the load. With the bikes being nerfed and that, we're not gumming up the tram lines anymore. But we've gone from Amsterdam on steroids back to my home city of Auckland on, yeah, where are all the cyclists gone? So we need to take that 80% loss off and just get them back on and just improve the pathfinding for the cyclists. Now there is updates coming up which I'm going to touch on in a minute, but yeah, we've got some assets to deal with our high-end, our full density and so on to deal with those problems. So we should be able to get those pedestrians moving so they're not clogging up not only the cars but also the buses, especially even when we've got transit lanes in and the tramways as well. This I've got to shorten up, so you're going to see me do something live. So yeah, that's where we have been with thing. As for the last 5 months, well, when you get restructured and made redundant out of your role, when you move house and all that, and then when you're going to be doing also real life planning work, given we've got our planning reforms underway in Aotearoa, New Zealand. Yeah, it's just been a bit busy, and then when you catch wind that there's updates coming down, especially ones that will break the mods for a while. CS1's going to be more prone to this, which I'll touch on when I get there. Yeah, but when you've got updates that are known that are going to do a big break on the mods, you'll have a real tendency to leave the game alone. Just for the sheer fact that you know it's just going to upset things, and you've got to wait for the mods and assets to be updated accordingly. Now, if these pedestrian faults are continuing, that is on... These have only just happened, and I know there's been some smaller updates coming through. Could be a leveling problem as well. But given that the farm has picked up a thing, I'm just wondering if they're playing around. Someone's playing around with the roads behind the scenes from the developer, which causes problems in of itself until that gets corrected, usually through a level up. I don't usually like replacing fixed assets like the farms like that. Zone's easy. As you see as I do, you just demolish and go. But for fixed assets like that, that's more problematic because you have to redo them. And there's no guarantee it doesn't do the same thing again, which is always a bit of a pain in the butt. Okay, so where to next? Well, we'll have Manukau Ranges going again. Marsden Point will continue to be a new test point. I do have 2 new maps, including an existing one which Manukau Ranges sits on, because that map was updated to fix the bugs that were picked up on. And we've also got CS1, but given that's a very large update for an 11-year-old game, that could be, it's going to be interesting coming round to what breaks and what doesn't. Now, before we do that, let's just get this bus stop set up, because I need to break a bus route in half because it's too long. This one should be enough for what I'm needing to do. Basically what I'm doing here is just rerouting a and I will probably keep that on bus for now, and should take out the parking real soddingly quick, because I don't want them necessarily parked up here at the moment. But what I need to do is just quickly break this bus line up, because it's not working, it's too long. And yeah, bus routes do have maximum. Ah, they are. So the left-right has been restored properly. Oh, that's good news. Because these assets before a mod took it out would go the other way. I could have fixed up my tram problem up at the other end, but whatever. It just stops the buses backing up, and then what we do is go and break it here and set up a new route. And this required some very extensive modifications. And that should technically break that up. Yes, it does, which means I can now install a new bus route. Because you get open up, but you can open bus stops up down here anyway, and this will become a development in its own right. So that's why it's only. So we just pop into here. Open that up quickly. Don't need that many yet, but it's good to know we can. And they'll readjust accordingly. So what I've done is split the line up. So if you're coming in from very little Canberra, you can just catch a bus straight out to Otago Point. So I've cut the line in half. And if you're going into the city centre and to the intercity train station, you've got yourself, you've got that route still preserved. So basically just cut the route in half and added a transfer point just to get you going. But yes, no, so one of the big things, one of the updates apart from the graphics, although they've reverted nicely, after going a bit cartoony, is they dealt with the seniors. The seniors would sit and sit and sit and sit and sit, which then became corrupted citizens. So they would absolutely lag the game out. So as I said, get above 200,000 and your game basically stalls. Now I'm getting up to 266,000, approaching 300,000. So I'm starting to approach the limits of the rig. And we're running okay. So, yeah, some good stuff has been happening behind the scenes, and there's a lot more stuff to come out. Especially when I've also got new assets online as well, which is always a good thing. Like a Costco! Yay! Well, yeah, yay. And bagels, and excuse me for 1 second. Nope, never mind, not going to sneeze. So we've got a Costco, which is like I can... office demands returning too, had to fix that up. Ooh, is that needing... That's not a good sign when you have... pedestrian points. I think someone's broken another aspect of the game, and I'm just wondering what it is. Oh, okay. No, never mind. I just needed to make it a dual access point. Huh. Well, that will teach me. And, yeah, yes, I'm going to do it. Ah, are those the underpasses? Even better. So there we go. We've got a Costco. And because, yes. And I will use these ones. Oh, Costco's American. Let's make it the American ones, shall we? Okay, oh. Yeah, okay, small walk here, team. Interesting, it's not going to let it do it off that one. Open up the route. I don't think this district's got a name yet, so it's not gonna... No, it doesn't. Okay, so I need to create a new district. Yep, just keep it as that, and as always, because we'll use that for commuter parking. Yay. So yeah, the simulator, it means, yeah, I can start pushing it up, and I'm not having problems with the skyscrapers anymore. Either. See how big they are. So yeah, that's some good news. And my office demand is finally returning. Oof, that has been a bit of a mission. But if office demand is finally returning, that's a very good thing, because now I can actually get it back in here. Right. So what's coming for CS1 and CS2? I suppose that's where we're meant to be getting to. Well then, standby caller. I'll actually keep the simulator down here for the moment. Well, that has certainly helped. Getting those extra lanes in there. Sorry, slightly off topic. So where are we at? well, this is where we are currently at with CS1 and 2. So they've bundled it all up in one package, which makes that easier. So, as we know, CS1 is 11 years old, which is basically the franchise as a whole, if you include CS2 as well. And we've got some big stuff coming through, which is always great to see. So, through the month of March, we've got CS1 content coming through tomorrow. Now, remember, those timelines are set to European time, so that is 12 hours behind me. So that stuff will be out about... that usually comes out anywhere between 8 and 10 p.m. tonight, New Zealand time. Sometimes it's 2 o'clock in the morning. It just depends where it sits in the system. So we've got some new stuff coming up with CS1 on race day, and I will load CS1 up. Around race day, iconic brutalism, and history, renew history. So those are those ones where you have the historic building facade on the ground floor, and then the 20th or 21st century building behind it. We also have some CS2 stuff coming out next week around offices. Now, I've just fixed up my office demand situation. I needed a mod to do it after Skyscrapers content pack created it. Yeah, I'm rolling eyes. So we've got some city stations from good old reliable Bad Peanut, whose stations assets are used very heavily in CS1. So it's good to see his peanut assets. Well, his name is Bad Peanut, so it's great to see his rail assets come up, and I think they've got a few intermodal, such as train, tram stuff again, because especially my big city centres, metropolitan centres, I do a lot of intermodal stuff because it's all about the linking up. And then finally, we have... then you've got the bundles coming up. So that is with CS1 and CS2. So as you go down, you can see... And I'll go into CS1 to show where I'll get these. So I'll get all the DLCs. So you can also go and look at the things. I'm not going to play the vids. Now this one's will cause the major break in CS1 because if you watch a YouTube video, fences now can be attached to roads. You don't have to draw them alongside. Yay! Always a pain in the backside, amongst other things. So yeah, so for Pacifica sitting in CS1, looking forward to doing this. So do my own GP. Or Formula 1, do my own marathon and my own bike race. The city's young enough to do it. Plenty of flat land. Of course, we've got brutalism. All hail brutalism, and everyone going, ugh. Oh, that was a time. And it was always a topic of study too in geography and planning. And then, of course, the facade buildings, which was always a pet peeve for geographers and planners. CS2 jumps in, so we've got the office stuff coming through. Some more office stuff coming through. Always good to see I just got the offices going, and I love my city and metro centres replicating them. And then we've got the city stations from Bad Peanut, which includes some intermodal stuff. And then, of course, you've got all this and some... and this was the hot fix to fix up what happened. So Iceflake are doing a wonderful job in both comms and working through. So this is all very good to see, and it is very encouraging to see as well for the game. So that's where we are with CS1 and CS2. So I will be jumping back into CS2 with Manukau Ranges now that this is all stabilized out, and we've got some new content coming through which shouldn't be game breaking to kick off some big urban renewal projects across the city. Ooh, I can see the game's chugging along a bit. I do have other applications open too, so I've just seen that. There you go, I've still got lots of citizens moving in, which is why. So usually I would, if I've done a mass build, let it run behind the scenes, because this is also where I drop to ground level. And just let it run, and then your game usually runs quickly again, not long after. And there goes all my office demand again. So regarding CS2, Manukau Ranges, we'll get back to action stations with that game. And start the big urban renewal work. Although there is still some greenfield work because I've got to get the resources lined back up because there was a big play on the resources. And then CS1 will continue, get back over to Pacifica City, and use those new content packs to give the city a theme around racing, all things racing, whether on bike, 2 legs, or an engine behind you. And in fact, I'll leave this here, and we'll be just back in a moment. And here we are with Cities Skylines 1, which I get very rusty with the controls. So this is Pacifica City. A small city at 33,000, so she's getting underway. As you can see, and forgive the background noise, it's pretty loud compared to CS2. So you can see the city is getting underway as we start connecting up between Wuri, Papatoi, and as Owera connects up to the city centre. Now with the new content coming out, especially good old CS1. And this is me being very rusty at the controls because they are the opposite in CS2. Anyway, as you can see, we have, let me just find, there it is. We have the space available for the development of our race circuit, wherever I would want to put it, as well as our other races, depending. So like I could do, as the city centre develops, absolutely we'll have the space here to do, well there we go, big boulevard there for, could be the raceway, because you could race on the city streets as well. So lots of further potential in CS1, that is for certain. Oh, there goes the monorail. Do miss that in CS2 because monorail is one of the ones I can make run not only exceedingly efficiently, but the one that also turns over big profit too. Everyone seems to love the monorail. So, yeah. That new stuff. Huh! Is that an actual glitch, or has Chirpy lost the plot? I'll turn that off. So yeah, lots to do in CS1, lots to do in CS2, and just not enough recording time to currently do it in. But that's okay. And you can see the trains racing along as well as the monorail. Lots of potential to do. I think I will. Ooh, bit of planning. Where should we chuck the circuit? Decisions. Got lots of room to do it. If anything, I would use this for the bike and marathon, because you get to race around the lakeside and then hold, say, the Grand Prix maybe towards the outskirts, because the racket would just drive everyone completely nuts. And maybe, I don't know, we'll find places anyway. Not in your resource areas, mind you. So, once the mods have restabilized in CS1, yeah, sorry, giving you all vertigo now. We'll be definitely back in here to make full use of those DLCs, put it that way, and very much looking forward to them as well. Now, before I do that, I just want to see where that district is. There. Okay. Oh, sorry, just had to... Just checking on things, and then... See, because CS1's still got a lot to it. Just checking everything. Oh, okay. Yep. Yeah, because it's on the fringe, so that will be very interesting to see. Very interesting to see that kind of development once it gets going. I think this is calling for just low density. Low density at the moment. The Parkify asset makes things a lot easier to contend with. Put it that way, and it's you can tell some aspects of CS1 we definitely miss in CS2. Put it that way. Alright, here comes the first. Of course, I would have to continue to build out all the infrastructure there. I think this is part of the Brooklyn's Creek Queens one. So that will be very interesting to see how that actually so-called develops. Yep, here it all comes now. Which means it will probably be a good idea to, and I've now got to remember where everything is. Oh, we've got enough capacity to pour out at the moment. Okay, so that's just the university, which I should. Don't want a high capacity university in of itself. That should give a little bit more capacity. Was that the high school? That was the high school. Wrong one. You can tell I am completely rusty with this game. Although technically that can stay there. That should be oh, it's Sunday, so nope, there we go. There we go. So yeah. So that is where we are at with CS1 and CS2. Lots of new stuff coming for CS1. The game's going good. And we've got stuff of still trickling through for CS2 as they work out some of the big stuff. So, a lot to go yet in the Cities Skylines franchise. Looking forward to it. And thus, I will be definitely over now the rest of 2026 chopping and changing between CS1 and CS2 content. I am Palpatine001, aka the Senate, and we're back with CS1 and CS2 as the updates start coming through over the next couple of weeks.